This is Dr. Peggy Semmingson, Associate Professor of Curriculum and Instruction at the University of Texas at Arlington. This podcast series shares success tips from faculty on academic productivity. Views shared by faculty are their own. We are talking to Dr. Sonja Watson, Associate Professor of Spanish and Director of Women's and Gender Studies. Can you tell us about tips and advice on writing?
Well, I think that the most important thing that a professor can do on the tenure track, and also a tenure professor, is to set goals. That's what I've always done, set short-term and long-term goals. So set 6 months goals, 1 year goal, and then of course if you're on the tenure track, or even if you're not on the tenure track, I like to call it the 5-year goal. So I think if someone sets goals, but most importantly also set deadlines. And these can be I'm going to submit this particular paper within 6 months or a year to a journal. Or I'm going to have a book chapter done within a certain period of time. And I'm going to have it, either you're going to have it ready for an edited volume, or you're going to have it ready as part of a larger book project. So I think it's really important to set goals, but also to set deadlines. And often when I set a deadline, it was such a deadline that I put it in my Microsoft Outlook. And it became so internalized that it became a real deadline for me, even if it was an artificial deadline that I established. The other thing is, when I was on the tenure track, I had a lighter service load. And so what I did was I had my teaching days and my research days. And so my teaching days, obviously, I focused on being an awesome instructor. And then on my research days, I really focused on my research. And I was able to work from home. And those were the days where I really focused on writing, reading, and of course researching, whether it was an article or a book chapter. It doesn't always work that way. We have meetings that come up, we have grading, but I think majority of time, if you kind of set those goals and those parameters, you will equally focus on your teaching and research. Another thing is obviously weekends. You need that time to yourself, but you also have to work weekends, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. Most importantly, if you can, try not to teach summer school. When I was on the tenure track, I did not teach summer school, and I really used my summers to write.
Oh, that's smart.
So.
Well, good. Well, thank you. Anything else you want to add?
You also kind of asked about my habits.
Yeah.
My habits and processes as an academic writer. I think that those things have kind of changed. As I said before, when I was on the tenure track, my habits were a little more, I would say, consistent and stable. But I've also tried to maintain those habits since I've gotten tenure. And I think one of the things that I've joined recently is I joined a book club, or a writing group, I should say. I joined a writing group that has really helped me maintain my writing agenda and has really helped me jumpstart my book project. And I think that that's something that's really valuable and worthwhile to either become a part of an established writing group or even form your own writing group. I find that's very helpful.
That's great. Thank you.